I'm a family, it's your man VV, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. So you guys know I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. So look, man, I got a really crazy video for you guys today. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. I let AI mix my vocals, and I'm gonna show you guys how it went. All right, I won't even overtalk it. If you need a template for recording in Logic or in Pro Tools, check out my free templates down below. They're completely free and they'll change the game for you right away. All right, let's jump into this track. I'll play it back as it is now, and then we'll dive into the AI process. Let's do it.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad.
Alright, bet. So as you can hear, the vocal, I mean, it sounds good, it's recorded well, but it still got some things. I know what I would do to it if I was going to mix it, but instead, we're going to load up this plugin. So let's go to plugin called Nectar from Isotope, and we're going to click on this button right here that says Vocal Assistant. We'll choose Assist, and we'll answer a few questions. So the vibes, I think it's pretty modern. And then the intensity, let's go with aggressive, and let's hit next. So now it just wants us to play back the song so it can listen to the vocals and start mixing them for us. So let's do that.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash.
Alright, bet. So it says it's done. Let's hit accept, and we'll see what the plugin did. But before we do that, let's minimize it and let's just listen, and then we'll go back and look through and see what it did. Here we go.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't
Alright, bet. So that's with it. Let's hear it without real quick.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad.
Okay, so right off the bat, we can hear it added some gain, which I don't think is really a fair comparison, but let's dive in and see what Nectar actually did. So they have a pitch plugin up here, but it's not doing anything. I don't think we need any pitch correction here. And the gate is also not engaged. So the first plugin they actually have engaged is an EQ. So let's see what they did. They cut 2 dB at 260. They cut 2 dB at 529. They cut 2 dB at 1020. And they cut 2 dB at 548. I don't know, maybe 2 dB is the magic number, but this is all they cut. They did no kind of roll off or anything, so I'm guessing the way we rolled off the vocal when we recorded it was enough. So I like that EQ move. Let me bypass these plugins that are on here, and we'll just go one by one and hear the moves that they made with each plugin. So let's go with the EQ.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad.
Right, so instantly that does a lot to kind of bring the vocal forward. I think those are pretty good EQ moves, but I do hear a lot more S's, so I'm glad that they followed up with the de-esser. Let's see where they set it at. So they have the de-esser set all the way down at 2.4K. And the threshold is actually pretty lenient, which means I don't think it's going to be doing a lot of de-essing, but let's watch and see.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks on my dad. I'm deep.
So I'm iffy here. I would want a little bit more de-essing. I really want to control those S's and not have them poke out so much. So let me add a little bit more de-essing and see.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad.
Yeah, I think that's better. So let's keep going and see what they did next. This next EQ is additive, so they're just adding. Well, no, they're doing some cutting too. Okay, so they cut 130, 2.5 dB. They also rolled off the low end from 60 hertz at a 12 dB per octave curve. So that's pretty cool. let's see. They cut 352 for 2 dB, and then they started boosting. So we got 2 dB at 1700, 1 dB at 2800, 2.5 dB at 5000, and then they just got some air up here at almost 16K. They boosted almost 4 dB. So let's hear what that EQ engaged.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks, I'm a dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad.
So as you can hear, that EQ just adds a lot of brightness, a lot of intensity, a lot of excitement to the vocal and to the song. And I think it was a great move. I think that was a good move there. It's getting a little thin for me, but I think I'll combat that with the next step. So far, I'm really into the way they mix this vocal. Let's go to the compressor and see what they did compression wise. So our ratio is set to 12:1. They got the fastest attack, the slowest release, which is very interesting that they would set the compressor like this. But they have also auto gain on the makeup. So let's hear what the compression sounds like.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks, I'm a dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks, I'm a dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the
I had to jump in and start messing with the compression. I really don't like the way they compressed it. The release was way too slow, and so the vocals were kind of getting held down and muffled, and it took away a lot of the excitement that was added in the step before for me. So now the vocal is too thin, but I like the compression a lot better. But overall, the way they started was fine. Like the compression was also fine. I just like my compression. I like the way I know how I want it to sound. It didn't quite sound like that. But if I got a vocal like that, I wouldn't be upset with it. Like if I heard a mix like that, I wouldn't be like, oh man, they should have compressed it the way I wanted them to. Like no, this was actually a really solid vocal mix. They also added some reverb. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but let's see what they did here. Okay, so they got an EQ curve on the reverb, so they're rolling off a lot of the low end. I'm trying to see if it so from here, the 600K, and then they're rolling off at 3K as well. So you're really only getting the middle of the reverb, which you'll see me do a lot, so you get that kind of phone sound. I do it more so with delays, but you can do it with your reverb as well. So let's hear what this reverb sounds like and see if we want to keep it.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag.
Oh, another quick thing, I love the little mix knob that they have for each plugin, because you can mix in the compression, you can mix in the EQ, you can mix in the reverb. So I'm going to overdo the reverb so we can really hear it, and then we'll dial it back.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks, I'm a dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad. If I ain't jumped.
And there it goes, man. I think my job might be obsolete. I don't know if I need to mix anymore. AI got it, bro. So that, I mean, there's a few little tweaks that I would make, but those are personal preference things. If you really need your songs mixed and you're in a bind, man, check out Nectar. AI can do it now. So that's really what I got for you, man. If you got any more questions, you need some help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi, and I'm here for you. Remember, stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Jumped on my feelings and hopped in my bag. Started seeing a whole lot of cash. Ops keep capping and dissing this shit on the gram. Shit making me mad. Get on they block and play tag. Ain't see me coming, all they saw was that big boy flag. I gotta chase racks, I'm a dad. I'm deep in the streets, I'm thugging. Mama, I'm making you sad.